I got 2 weeks to do this. How does he expect me to make all the art for this and program the website in only 2 weeks? Let me be clear.
So let me be clear.
Let me be perfectly clear.
I'm sick and I'm very sniffly and I just feel like doo-doo, but I'm gonna do this video anyway. If you wonder why I sound funny, that's why. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't sure what to expect going into college, especially considering it was 2020 and school was largely online at the time. I think it was overall a really good experience for me. I was forced out of my shell a bit. I met some pretty cool people. I met some not so cool people. I had way better food options than in grade school. And I got to experience being away from home for a while. But as an art student, do I think going to college made me a better artist? No. To be completely honest, I didn't go to college to get better at art. I just wanted the degree. Say what you will about college and the validity of having a degree, but I'm already getting paid more than I would have without my degree, and I'm not even in a specifically art-related job at the moment. But what I mean is, regardless of what your degree is in, it can get you to higher positions or earn you higher wages, depending on what sort of job you're looking for. Sometimes, simply having a degree can get you a job that you're otherwise not super qualified for. But I'm not here to talk you into going to college. There are plenty of downsides, and I wouldn't have ended up going if my grandma didn't make me and pay for the whole thing herself. I want to talk about what the point in art school even is, or rather, what the heck they were thinking bringing AI into the mix. I may make a separate video about how art school didn't really help me at all. Maybe that's gonna be another video. I don't know if this is something other artists have experienced within their own art classes. I mean, AI generated art is something that only recently kind of blew up and became more mainstream. I feel like it's been around for ages, but it was only around 2022 when it was something pretty much everyone had access to. And it wasn't until my last year of college that I started noticing my professors bringing it up. I remember being in class working on some random project when I noticed a conversation happening between a couple of my professors in the background. They were talking about different AI programs, and they were sharing images of the stuff that they generated with it. And then they started talking about how this could make art production way faster. And so I kind of butted into the conversation. I was asking them what they were talking about so I could make sure I heard them correctly. And despite my opposing opinion, I didn't say anything else because I wasn't really a part of the conversation to start with, and I didn't want to argue with my professors about the ethics of an apparent art tool that I only vaguely knew about at the time. Since then, I have developed a much stronger opinion about AI art, if you can even call it art. I should probably explain my own feelings on AI art. I think that generally it's not a good thing for artists. It has the potential to take away a lot of job opportunities, and it also leads viewers to question what is real and what is AI, which can make even just enjoying art a lot more complicated. I've seen some comments left on Pinterest, which has been totally overrun with AI art, expressing genuine distress over saving and referencing art that they never realized was AI. There's also the issue of theft, genuine artists having their art thrown into these machines for the sake of manufacturing fake art, which might even be monetized by whoever's running the program to generate the images. Imagine you're a smaller creator and you're trying to show off your art and you're not seeing a lot of growth. Just to see someone spitting out AI generated images based off your art and profiting off of it. I'd be pissed. Now, I actually have some more lenient feelings towards AI as well. Like I don't see a huge issue with those AI songs where you take a character from some show or whatever and you go, what would it be like if this character sang this song? Like, I think it's okay because, first of all, it definitely seems to just be for fun, and people uploading these sorts of videos are being very clear that it's not real. Like, no. Plankton himself didn't actually sing In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. But man, does that Plankton AI voice bank sound good regardless. The issue with creating entirely original songs with AI, is the fact that it isn't actually original, and you have no idea what is even being referenced. You can't credit anyone. It's the exact same as generating some art and posting it despite not being able to reference anyone and not creating it yourself. The meme songs aren't really being shown off as art. It's just like silly, fun stuff. We know who actually wrote the song, and we know who the character is and where he's from. It's just different. I also feel like AI could maybe be used to come up with general ideas for composition, color palettes, or outfit design ideas, but just for like a general idea, not something that you just outright copy and pretend like you came up with. The same thing goes for referencing actual art or photography. You shouldn't just outright copy someone else and pretend like you came up with the idea. That's pretty much just stealing, but with extra steps. Disingenuous at the very least. So, AI in the classroom. The little animation at the beginning of this video is based off an actual assignment that I had. I was taking a web design class, and I believe this was the last assignment that we had. So I was actually a studio art student, and web design is a graphic design class. I was taking it as an elective, so my approach to creating this stuff was a bit different than my classmates. Graphic design as an art major seems to have a bit more to do with business and computers than art itself. It's a lot of advertising and pleasing a customer, at least from what I can tell. And this is not to diss graphic designers. It's just different from the kind of thing I would normally do. I realized through the few graphic design classes that I took that I am not good at it. But I mention this because I feel like it has something to do with why this professor was so okay with bringing up AI. He didn't just bring it up, actually. He used AI images that he generated and used them in his demonstration for how to create our own choose-your-own-adventure type website. And we only had I think 2 weeks before the end of the semester. So we were like, how the heck am I supposed to get all these backgrounds done in that amount of time? Because he did want backgrounds. And his solution was AI. He just showed us a bunch of different AI programs and sites, showed us how they worked, and other students were sharing their own favorite AI programs, which made me wonder, if everyone was already super chill about using AI in their assignments. I mean, it was literally an entire class period of just learning about AI. This is art class, what's going on? I thought we were against this shit. In my usual studio classes, it was never explicitly told to me not to use AI, but I kind of just figured it was obvious because the school takes cheating very seriously. You can get kicked out of college for cheating, and in this class, each assignment is meant to be handled as if we had an actual client. So is this dude trying to say it's okay to hand over work with a ton of AI artwork? A website full of AI art? What? Now, I did end up actually using AI for my backgrounds because I literally could not have gotten the project done in 2 weeks without it. But I still ended up drawing everything else. It was for a grade. I didn't care. But if I was making this for myself or someone else, I definitely would not be using AI. It felt really weird throwing in some AI generated backgrounds. They weren't even that good. You could tell it was AI, but most of the other students didn't draw anything. Their entire project was AI. The backgrounds, the character art, all of it. The art style between stages of the game weren't even consistent in most cases, and characters would morph into entirely different people. And yet the professor praised a lot of them. I will say, this is the only time that I encountered a professor encouraging and praising the use of AI for assignments, but I gotta wonder if this happens like way more often than I realize, and I was just oblivious of it for the most part because I don't usually take those kinds of art classes. I'm a little nervous that AI may become even more prevalent in college classes the longer it's around, especially since I've already heard professors talking about how awesome it is. I also recently saw that the college I went to put an article on their website about embracing AI because it's pointless to fight it, I guess. I think it was talking about AI in general and not specifically art, but still. So the other major instance of AI being used when I was in art school wasn't a classroom experience really, but rather some sort of project that a couple of my professors were working on. It was like a big collaborative oil painting that I believe was being made so it could be hung in one of the college buildings. Probably the College of Business, but I could be wrong about that. I believe they took some of their own ideas or things they normally paint and included that in the prompt and picked their favorite image that it generated. I'm not sure if they even really changed the idea it gave them. I'm pretty sure they just painted what it showed. So I mean, they did do the work of physically painting this big oil painting, but as far as I can tell, they just copied the generated image. So what's my point? Why am I even talking about this? I don't think I have a conclusion, actually. It's more just something that confuses me and worries me. It seems like the younger and more chronically online artists, maybe a nicer way to put it would be socially aware. Anyways, artists who primarily show their work online and gain a following there seem more wary of AI and how harmful it can be to artists. I feel that college professors don't really consider the online world when it comes to art, which is interesting considering a lot of them, at the very least, post on Instagram. But they seem more interested in art shows and having work hung in galleries. I feel like they have a different idea of what a successful artist is compared to ones that find their success on the internet. That's not to say anything is wrong with pursuing that type of success, but it seems to allow them to be a little disconnected from the conversations taking place around AI. Especially because, let's be honest, most artists are very much online, even if their medium is traditional. People who aren't within online art spaces probably rarely, if ever, encounter arguments against AI art. I feel like it's something that I hear about a lot, but in reality, it's probably a pretty niche topic. So I don't actually blame any of my professors for being so fascinated by it. I mean, it's a pretty cool concept to be able to speak, or I guess type, art into existence. I think we've all probably played with AI a little, even if we didn't go on to try using it with nefarious intentions. And I don't feel that my professors who were so hype about AI had nefarious intentions. Not so sure about that web design class though. That kind of blew my mind. Not gonna lie. But regardless of the individual's use of AI, I think to incorporate it into classes is dangerous. I mean, we aren't allowed to use AI to write essays. Apparently they scan for that now. I don't know how they can tell that it's AI generated, but hey, whatever. So then why is it okay for art classes? Clearly, the use of AI is seen as cheating. If a computer just writes an entire essay for you, then clearly you didn't do any of the work and you don't deserve the grade. And if you just retype everything it gave you, then you just copied the work that you already didn't actually do. Stealing with extra steps. Even though one included actually typing, it wasn't your own thoughts. The same thing should go for AI art. If you're sticking some backgrounds on your website that were AI generated, then it's basically the same as copy-pasting an AI generated essay. I don't think that this video could possibly encourage colleges to take the use of AI art more seriously, but I don't know. Maybe a professor will see this and think, I should make sure my students understand why using AI to complete their assignments is wrong and cheating. Or maybe a student will see this and think, maybe I should let my professors know that including AI in their assignments is kind of whack. Or maybe someone will just listen to this in the background while they draw and think, she sure does like yapping. Anyways, I just want to talk about how silly AI is and how it's spreading like an infection and will soon take over the world. Okay, bye! You are facing
Now you are facing out of my car. I'm facing a fucking moron. Get out. Now. You're facing now. You have no right to scream at me.